Hello, everyone, and welcome here to the Screen Warriors podcast, episode 3. Technically, but episode 1 with video.
Yay, video!
Been the best way of describing it. You have me, Johnny, the Irish guy.
We've heard everybody's request to see our faces, so here we go.
Did someone request? Nobody requested to see this face.
Nobody.
Nobody requested. It's just, I don't know. Video.
Yeah.
It's on YouTube. We do video on YouTube. That's the way YouTube goes. So I'm Johnny. I'm the Irish guy if you happen to listen to the other two podcasts. And I'm the host from the Gorecast as well, which is the American Horrors hit TV show thingamajig that's on. And we'll be back on American Horrors once everything gets rectified and stuff. And then on this side of me over here, we got the Buzz.
Hello, I am the Buzz, I guess. I am the host of, or co-host of the Scream Warriors podcast here. We have some a little bit of news since the last time we did podcast. Obviously, we're doing video now, so you can see us. So that's one bit of news.
Yeah, sorry, I was surprised by doing video before you told about it.
Yeah, everybody is just as surprised as we are, because that was a surprise to me as well, so.
Well, I won't lie to you, it was a surprise to me too. I just was like, fuck it.
So, we'll just say this is a big group surprise.
Yeah.
But also, a couple of changes have been made to the YouTube channel, and that is, we went away from it just being the Scream Warriors podcast channel, and it's now just Scream Warriors.
But it's still a podcast, just to clarify.
Yeah, it's still a podcast. That's still the flagship show of the channel. But we are looking to add a little bit more content to the channel besides just the podcast. We have recruited a couple of special effects artists, makeup artists, to do some makeup and special effects tutorials videos, hopefully coming here in the future. Jessica and Abattoir. And if you guys remember, Abattoir was our special guest for our very, very first episode of the Precats podcast.
1.
So if you haven't taken a look or listened to that episode, do that now so you can get familiar with her work. But also, if you want to get familiar with her work before she puts some stuff up here, you can follow her on Instagram and Twitter at AbattoirSFX, both places. And then also Jessica, she is the welcoming team leader over on Horror Amino.
Mm-hmm.
She is also going to be giving us special effects tutorials, and her Twitter is, I believe, because I am super prepared today. So
Are you? It looks like you're looking up Twitter.
I am. There we go. It is at Jess_1331. So if you want to look at some of her previous work, she is posting stuff there. The other thing I want to say real quick is we have opened up our own Amino for the Scream Warriors YouTube channel. It's the Scream Warriors Amino. You can head over there and you can talk to myself and Johnny, also our other contributors, and also fans of the podcast and the channel. So that is at...
Once they go there.
One word, yes. One place together.
Synergy. That's synergy.
All of our millions and millions of 3 fans that we've got. That's where they're at.
There's more than 3. There's more than 3.
So yeah.
We get 54 views per episode now. So
yeah. So that's the Scream Wars, And we also launched a Twitter page for the Scream Warriors channel, where you get all information for upcoming episodes of the podcast and other videos that will be posted, and that's at Scream Warriors. So
they'll all be on the end screen anyway when we finish talking about what we're going to talk about.
Yeah. So
that's all the info.
That's fine.
That's everything?
Yep, that's everything I can think of.
Cool. That's the end of the show, so.
Yep.
Done.
Glad you guys watched, and...
Thanks for joining. No, we were over in Horrormino last week where we do the... we'll call it a podcast. We do a live chat with the Horrormino peeps, and we get people in and we talk about different topics and things on occasion. And last week when we were doing it, we were talking about behind the scenes, because we had a couple of people who'd worked on some movie sets and things like that over the years in some fashion or another. And we thought we'd talk about this because we like to try and keep things in theme a little bit. And we thought the Poltergeist Curse, as things that happen on set behind the scenes go, that was pretty talkable.
Yep. It was probably one of the most, I'd say probably the most known kind of like cursed movies when it comes to like stuff going on in the production and like just craziness that's happened to like cast, crew, directors, and I felt that it was just a really good connection. Well, Johnny also, he was kind of the one that brought the idea up, but I backed him 100%. I thought it was a good kind of, like you were saying, kind of pairing together with the live podcast behind the scenes, because it's probably, like I said, one of the better behind the scenes storied movies.
Well, it's just so documented, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, there's just so much into like all the different stuff that's happened, and like I mean, we'll get into a few of the stuff here shortly, but I mean, there's just, I know 2 of the young stars passed away either during or after making of the film. A few other actors passed away, crew members.
It wasn't so much, some stuff did happen on set, but it was more of a, anyone involved with the project didn't meet a very nice ending by any means, number one. And number two, tended to happen to them substantially earlier in life than one would expect. And I think one of the reasons the Poltergeist Curse stands out amongst some of the other, like there's loads of haunted set stories and things like that, but it hasn't just affected, it's not like it was just one movie. It's like the whole franchise. So something's happened on literally every movie or to someone from every part of that franchise.
Yeah. And the, like, if whoever's watching isn't familiar with kind of like the origins of like where a lot of people think the start of the curse kind of started, it was made actually known. I don't know if you remember, Johnny, or not. I don't know what you guys had, but VH1, the channel, had the I Love the 80s like little program that they used to have.
Yeah.
Where they would look back at a lot of stuff that happened in the 80s, pop culture-wise.
Johnny didn't have satellite till much later in life.
So you probably might not have seen that.
No, VH1 was it was substantially more country music by the time I got introduced to it.
Yeah. That's actually where it was actually first made public, kind of like where the origins of the curse was, because that's where it was first made public about them using real skeletons on the set of the first Poltergeist movie. Now,
pause you there for a moment. If you're looking to get your whole set cursed and get your whole cast cursed, that's
it's a good way to do it.
It also, one other point that I've always found strange about this is, how cheap is it to get real life skeletons compared to fucking fake ones?
It is cheaper from what I've been looking into.
I would not have thought that. I would not have thought that at all. Whole opposite end of the scale I would have been.
Yeah, because like they said, like I'm reading a quote here from the assistant prop master, Bruce Casson. He said, replica skeletons did not exist at that time of making the film. And as far as he remembered at the time, he said they're now obviously now common now, but at the time it was the actual skeletons were relatively cheaper, and the rush to get the film done, they just cut some corners.
That's crazy.
So that
is crazy.
That's where the start. Like, and she, Joe Beth Williams, who was the female lead in that movie,
the
one that was in the pool with the skeletons. She's the one. She was informed at the time that they weren't real, but then they told her after the filming of the movie.
I'd have sued the fudge out of them.
Yeah, that. So like that's where the start of the curse. A lot of people is where obviously the start of it, because they were
swimming in a pool of actual dead people.
Yeah. So, and then I know one of the first casualties of the curse was the young Dominique Dunn.
Very young.
Yeah, she Poltergeist was actually like her first film, and she was like the first casualty of the curse. In 1981, she began dating a chef, actually, John Sweeney, and she ended it after a while, and then he just went crazy and killed her.
Yeah, I think it was 82.
Oh yeah. They started dating in 81, but 82.
Yeah, 82 is where the actual. Yeah, she broke up with him, and he just went psycho.
Yeah.
Completely.
He said, as a quote, when the police arrived, he said, "I killed my girlfriend and tried to kill myself, but I guess he was wrong. The attempted murder was only ended up strangling her into a coma, so she actually didn't die right away. She went into a coma, and then
died later on.
November 1982 is when she passed away."
And he was done for voluntary manslaughter, wasn't it?
Yeah, and he served less than 4 years for the crime.
He got 6, did 3 in a chunk.
Yeah, it said after prison he changed his name and has presumably just been living free around the world. So you might be, next time you're walking down the street, you might be walking past him, maybe.
You could be dating him.
Yeah, you never know.
You could be dating him. Like, that was tragic. Because she was only, what, 20?
I don't remember off the top of my head
22?
how old she was, but it was young. It was in her
22, 23.
either late teens, early 20s.
It's crazy.
So, but then they actually had like reported hauntings on the set also.
Yeah. Surprise.
Yeah.
The set full of actual dead people from
this was
places.
actually with the first film.
You wish?
I guess the mechanical clown used to like move and like do stuff on its own.
Fuck that.
And I guess the kid who played the son, he was also almost killed because the crew thought his strangulation was very convincing. So when that clown thing wrapped its arms around his neck,
It was actually killing him.
it was actually killing him, and the crew thought he was just acting.
Yeah.
So they're like, "Oh, that was a great take."
This is why not getting into my life too much, but safety words, people. Do you know? Pumpernickel! Oh, fuck. Okay, that clown's killing that kid.
So if you guys take anything out of this podcast, always have a safety word.
Rule for life.
Yeah.
Rule for
Never
life.
want that accidental strangulation when enjoying yourself. And I don't know where we're going with this. This took a turn.
It did. It did.
I guess also on top of, like, with the skeleton problem, with the real skeletons, Joe Beth Williams also told, like, when they did Eat Your Hollywood Story, that she would return home every night after filming to find something had been, like, her pictures had been tilted, and, like, just a lot of crazy stuff happening with her, almost, it seems like, specifically on the first film, at least.
Well, she was the one swimming in dead people.
Yeah, and then
like, I'm not a superstitious guy. Like, I'd put myself in the Fox Mulder category of things. Do you know what I mean? I'm quite open to believing anything can happen, but show me, show me the goods. Do you know what I mean? But as much of a not superstitious guy as I am, putting someone in dead people's soup for whatever number of takes is needed seems like a good way to get a good possession going, to be honest.
So, and then also, one of the other people to have this effect on was James Caan, who was actually the writer of the novel version of Poltergeist.
James Caan? The actor?
I don't know if it's the same James Caan. It says James Caan, but I don't know if it's the actor.
He wrote the actual novel, not the screenplay.
Yeah, he wrote the novel. It says Caan was tasked for the novelization of the movie, and he says as he was finished with the novel, a freak lightning bolt actually struck the building he was working in. Well, so
that would go into my that'd go into my F that category as well.
Yeah, he was facing on the air conditioning unit, blew off across the room, and hit me in the back. So the air conditioner got struck and flew out of the window or wherever it was and hit him in the back.
Well,
so and it said after about a minute or so, the lights were flickering and all the video games in the room started playing themselves. So, yeah.
Did they?
I can tell you're a little bit flustered right now.
No, I'm not. I was buying it and I was like, fuck, that's crazy. Because I told you about the set that I was shooting on one of the films that I did where the radiator just fell off the wall and the massive crucifix fell off the wall, and the combination of the two of them landing at the same time, that just the bang this thing made was like, it was like a bomb had gone off. But the video games and everything sounds a little bit right out of a movie.
You know, the ghost just wanted to play some Super Mario Brothers. That's all it is.
Yeah, but like how...
Actually,
hang on. How current are these dead people that they're thrown in the soup?
I don't know.
How do you get dead people? Like, that's where I'm like... How?
I don't...
Because there wasn't just a few skeletons there. Like there was a.
Well, I mean, I don't know if it's just the theme of the movie itself. You know, dealing with the dead and spirits and stuff like that. That could be maybe adding some bad juju, as you want to say.
No, I'd imagine taking the dead people from where they were, putting them in soup.
Yeah.
I really feel like I'm no paranormal expert, but call me crazy, but I feel the soup is where the problem started.
Mm-hmm. I think so. Yeah, that's probably a good place to start.
Yeah.
There was also a few more deaths when you going into people who played on the other films. Will Sampson, who played the Indian, was actually a real life shaman.
He said the place was cursed to hell.
Yeah, he was apparently upset enough about the curse that he delayed production for hours to perform Indian rituals during on set.
This was during movie 2, wasn't it?
Yeah, this was the second movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, he perished less than a year after, about a year or so after the film from complications with kidney transplant.
That came on out of nowhere, if memory served me correctly. The actual kidney issues weren't a precondition. They all came since the making of movie 2.
Yeah, well, I mean, it says that, like, because there's another one, too. Trying to find his name. There was another guy who played, it's not, like, Julian Beck, there we go. He was in the second film, I believe, too. The both of them were, a little bit older, so I mean, it's kind of, and I guess we're in failing health.
Yeah.
But still, I don't know. I mean, I guess anybody can die from complications, obviously, but it just seems just all this happening in such a short span of time. It's like, well, it's hard not to make this connection.
It's a lot of it's too many things happening, as you said, in a very short space of time for it to just be happenstance.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, it's case of 12 months, give or take.
Yeah.
Call it 18 months for safety's sake.
Yeah.
To get a severe kidney disease to the point that you need a transplant, and then for the transplant to go tits up, all after you working on a set that you said was cursed to high holy hell, to the point that you needed to go around and ritualistically clean it.
Yeah. And then,
when you're a shaman as well, on top of that, who, from what I understand, are pretty well up on these kind of things.
Yeah. And then, there was a guy who, Lou Perryman, who had, a bit part in the original movie.
Yeah.
Now, this was obviously later on, 2009, actually.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's that's nearly 2 decades, give or take.
Yeah, he was 67 years old at the time. He was murdered and hacked up by an axe.
He was actually axe murdered?
Yes, he was axe murdered.
And is that, sorry, not to be dwelling on the specifications of it, but badly, I don't know how you can't be badly axe murdered, but you know what I mean?
Let's see. It doesn't really go into depth. It just says police arrived at his house and found him dead. Serial
killer axe murdered, or angry girlfriend?
Yeah, the guy's name was Seth Tatum. Witnesses say that they just had a brief conversation, went inside his house, and one came out, the other did not.
Fuck. So that's.
They said that it was just random. He didn't know him or anything. It was just a random.
So far we have. There's also the little girl as well who got very sick.
Yes, the star Heather O'Rourke. She.
That was movie 1.
She was the one that filmed all 3 movies, but died, I believe, right before the third one's release.
Yeah. From pancreatic?
She was only 12 years old.
Was it pancreatic cancer or something? Or?
Well, right here, so in my notes, I got it saying that it was actually misdiagnosed at first. They thought it was the flu at first.
Mm.
But
and sent her home.
Actually turned out that she died from septic shock during emergency surgery to repair a bowel obstruction.
Wow.
She was born with stenosis, so she was kind of, sick from the beginning. So I mean, when you're looking at all these deaths, besides maybe the 2 that were murdered, obviously, it was like a pre-existing. They were sick before, and it just seemed like
no. Hang on. Was the Indian guy sick before? I don't think he was.
From what I was reading up, it did say he was in failing health. So he may have had the cancer, or because of it was his kidneys. So I don't know if it was something, because he went in for surgery, so it was something obviously pre-existing that, because he died from the complications.
So you got two people who had a pre-existing condition and died from the. Well, actually, if you think about it, they had a pre-existing condition, but they didn't actually die from the conditions. They died from fuck-ups during surgery.
Yeah, it was. It's weird because they're all like that's. I mean, it could be the part of the curse, like them all succumbing to complications during the surgery.
Yeah, and then you have two members who've just been straight up murdered.
Yeah, and that's crazy. On top of that, just to think about that, really.
And in all of your research, was there any crazy shit going on set?
From what I was reading, no. Besides the skeletons, that's really on set. I think from what I read, the biggest things that happened on set. Well, I mean, the mechanical clown
trying to choke the kid.
There was it sounded like there was a few things happening, but I mean, really, it's traced to those freaking skeletons, man.
I would have to say that if I was to try and pinpoint it down to anything, I would have to say skeletons would be where I would be saying where all of that started off, to be honest.
Just trying to look in to see. Yeah, they didn't really. On my notes that I got, they didn't really touch into anything past the skeletons, really, from what I see, and then the strangulation almost of the kid with the clown. So, yeah.
Is that everybody?
From what I got here, that's all of the deaths. I really thought there was a couple more.
I thought there was stuff that had happened to directors.
Stuff like that. Yeah, but I honestly, there was. I really thought I read that there was a director that also passed, but I don't know if it was to the point where he was kind of, the curse may have been already done, or hey, it was just he died of something natural. So
I'm going to throw it on the table because I feel I have to now, because it's the conspiracy theorist in me. Where are we landing? Because I would say, don't get me wrong, the two people being absolutely murdered and stuff like that is a bit coincidental, but it's also 50-50. Two people that were just ill.
Yeah.
Granted, as I said, complications arose during both surgeries, but
I would lean more towards yes, I might believe in the curse, because of the fact that they all happen so close to the making of the films. The only one that really didn't happen was that one, the one guy that was in 2009.
Yeah.
So,
but without the guy from 2009, it's only one member of the crew, or one member of the acting crew that were murdered, and everyone else was sick, but had complications during surgery.
Yeah.
I don't know. Everything did happen very close to each movie that came out, though. Because wasn't Dominique years later as well?
Hers was before the second film, because she wasn't in the second film.
Was it close to the first film? Although the first and second film weren't long apart, actually, were they?
No, they're only a few few in between.
Okay. I feel...
Yeah, I'm like scrolling through right now. Supposedly, it looks like there was some stuff that happened during the filming of the remake in 2015.
Okay.
Just trying to read a little bit real quick. It says the Poltergeist did not end with the original 3 films. Gil Keenan, who directed the 2015 franchise reboot, was actually looking for the curse. According to Keenan, he found it. The film was plagued by strange equipment failures on one plot of land, and the director also reported that the house he stayed in while filming was haunted by a female figure in a black dress. The figure, he said, would follow him from set to set, though it thankfully did not return to Los Angeles with him when filming wrapped. A little bit, going into a little bit more research, I guess 2 fans bought a cursed object from the Poltergeist set.
Which?
A couple of fans bought the doll that was used by Heather O'Rourke in one of the movies.
Okay, I can buy that. Go on.
Once they received the doll, they experienced a series of troubling events, including multiple family members experiencing traumatic accidents, financial woes, and marital trouble. So, digging a little bit deeper, we are finding a little bit more.
See, from what I know of cursed objects, that could actually happen, because though the doll itself may not have been cursed initially when they got it,
it being on the set could have...
Spirits and entities tend to take...
attached to it.
So, yeah, I could buy that. I could buy that in a bag of chips. I buy it more than what the director of the remake was saying. I feel he was just trying to get a bit of light.
Yeah.
Don't forget about me. Don't forget I made a remake. Crazy shit happened on set of the remake, too.
That's not to take away from the movie being a pile of complete shit. So,
when you said one of the faults was strange equipment failures and things like that, I was like, maybe you just had a shitty crew.
Yeah, I was gonna say, because
you made a shitty movie.
50% of people working on movies could kind of claim that as well. So
yeah, because you made a shitty movie, so there's a good potential that there was a shitty crew.
But he was followed by a Woman in Black, because that has some kind of tie to Poltergeist, the movie, I guess.
Does it?
It could just be the spirit of somebody who was just saying, yeah, please don't make this movie. And
I'll tell you what he was seeing. He was seeing the results of several days with no sleep, probably because they were working on set. Several days have been soaked wet because they were working on set. And several days of flashing lights, loud noises, and temper tantrums and shit acting.
Yeah, that pretty much equals being followed by a Woman in Black.
It does. Well, like, I mean, I've done I've done 5 or 6 days with no sleep. Due to insomnia, you start seeing these like shadow people. You know, it's just like your eyes playing tricks on you in the corner. But you start seeing these little shadowy things and stuff like that. And from what I understand, that's a general rule of thumb. You know, once you get past like 2 or 3 days sleep, you start seeing, I don't know, could be like little mini blackouts as well, you know, where you don't fully fall asleep, but your brain just goes, no.
My conclusion is that I just think he's full of shit and wanted to put more attention to a movie that the movie itself wasn't going to get because it sucked.
I would have to agree with you, to be bluntly honest. I do find it strange. I'll buy the the cursed doll one. I'll take. I'd be happy to go.
Yeah.
That's quite possible. And I think, as for the curse itself, I don't know. With me. It's still on a. Yeah, could be.
It's one of those things where, like I was saying, it's hard to go one way or the other.
Yeah.
Because, it's weird that stuff happens so close to the three films.
Yeah, it's the timing of everything, not so much the two murders are a bit weird, but it's the timing of everything, really.
Exactly. I think it's the timing, not the way that they died.
Yeah.
Because, it's like people getting murdered, it happens,
Yeah. Well,
one happened decades after the movie. So,
it's just a bit weird, two people in the same franchise getting murdered.
Yeah, it is. And I don't know, like, I've seen the first Poltergeist film. I have seen the second one. I don't think I saw the third one. I don't know the gentleman who was murdered in 2009. I don't really know who he was. It's been a while since I've seen it.
Yeah.
It said it was a bit part. So, but it seems like majority of the other stuff is happening to main cast members.
Yeah, it'd be a bit weird to moving into the B rank.
Yeah, and then going into a guy who wrote the novel, somehow getting hidden. That whole story, like, I literally read that for the first time while I was reading it to you, and I'm just like, you got hit in the back by your air conditioner? Like, what?
Well, that could be like the air conditioner, like shit flying off a wall happens. It's just a video game bit. I'm just like, it's a little bit Stranger Things or something.
Yeah.
I feel, like, I don't know.
It's
the internet's ruined me. It's what's happened. I used to be like, oh, aliens, oh, this, and now the internet and Photoshop have ruined me, actually, where I just don't believe anything unless it's happened in front of me.
Yeah, there are a lot more skeptics than believers now because of that.
I need a photo of you standing beside the thing.
Yeah.
With a sign that you will ring me before you take the photo and write what I want on the sign.
Yeah.
I'll buy it.
So, yeah, like, I knew a little bit about the curse before, like, doing the research, but, like...
I think any horror fans heard of the Poltergeist Curse, to be honest.
Yeah, exactly. There's a few movies that have kind of, like, supposed curses, like, tied to it. I know I was talking to you before we were getting stuff set up, and, like, I know the Twilight Zone, the movie, I think, had one tied to it where there was, like, an actor and a few of the kids got their, like, heads decapitated by a plane while filming because they were too close to the plane and it just chopped all their heads off.
What, like, in real life?
Yeah.
While filming?
Yes.
Like on set?
Yeah, yes.
Like on set they decapitated a load of children?
Yes.
What the What?
Stall for me for a second. I'm going to look it up real quick.
Okay. That's actually mind-boggling, like. A load of kids... How have I not heard about this? A load of kids just... That's madness.
All right.
Our Twitter details, by the way, just while Buzz is doing his bit of talking, are going to be up at the end of the show again. And if you have any ideas for shows or movies or reviews you want to see us do, feel free to tweet Buzz over there. And he'll tweet me.
Yes. At Buzz SWPC is my Twitter handle. So on July 23rd, 1982,
okay,
a helicopter crashed at Indian Dunes during the making of the Twilight Zone movie. The crash killed 3 people on the ground, actor Vic Morrow and 2 child actors, as well as injured 6 helicopter passengers including the director, John Landis. The incident led to years of civil and criminal action, and was directly responsible for the introduction of new procedures and safety standards within the filmmaking industry.
If kids are getting decapitated, I would imagine so.
Yeah, I mean, I think they frown upon that.
It doesn't go down well.
So, it's not saying decapitations, but I was pretty sure I read that that's what happened.
Wow.
So, good note to leave off of, huh?
Yeah, we were kind of rounding into a happy ending. Not a happy ending because a load of people had died, but
There's no
I
happy
cracked a
endings
joke.
on Sword Warriors podcast.
I cracked a joke and we were ready to round off, but
I had to ruin that.
Yeah, you did.
Hey, I'm the host. I can do that.
That's all good. All right, I think we've covered the pretty good.
Yeah. So anybody that is watching, if you want to give your thoughts to us on the curse and how you feel about it, leave it in the just bottom, the comments.
Down there.
This way.
There's a description box, and underneath that,
yeah,
there's a comments box. And while you're writing a comment, don't forget to drop a like and a subscribe on the video and to the channel to stay up to date with more stuff that we're doing, because there will be more stuff with makeup artists.
Hopefully, once we get closer to the Halloween season, I would like to be adding a little bit more content if possible.
Yes.
I know
I'm sure
I've
we can figure something out.
Yeah, we'll see what we can do.
It's just that TV show I do at Halloween tends
his real job.
Yeah, we call it that. I don't think it's a job, but
if you're having fun, it's never a job.
There you go. That's 2 rules for life. 1 episode. That's pretty good. All right, from me, Johnny Deadly, and from The Buzz, that's the end of episode 3, and we'll catch you all next time. Oh, you have to do an outro line.
See ya. That's all I got.
Okay, we're going to work on an outro line for the next one. It'll be okay.